It is coming. Oh, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I just wanted to come on here and update you guys on some things that are going on. Would you look at that? Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Your love, support me in the world. We've got some updated information just for you right here in this video. Definitely want to here and show you guys exactly what is going on. There are so many things happening, and yet we are your one-stop shop news channel to make sure that you stay updated on everything that's happening. I've got El Prophet, Randy Gonzalez, Denise, Candace. What are you guys doing up so late? Hey, I'm right there with you. We just had some family time, and the little ones. We had church. We went, ate really good with the family, and then we came home, and we all kind of took a little nap till like 6 or 7. So let's just say nobody was ready for bed at bedtime, and so we just had a little bit of family time. John Rest, what is up, my brother? Thank you guys so much for definitely tuning in. Hey, that is awesome, Randy. That's awesome, Randy. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. $2,000 stimulus checks, direct deposits for seniors in 2024. The U.S. seniors are looking to get that $2,000 stimulus check direct deposit in 2024. The Treasury Department, under the leadership of the federal government, is going to distribute these stimulus checks to all the senior citizens, guys. And that's some pretty big, intense news. The Internal Revenue Service will be implementing the plans for the distribution process and going to provide the financial relief to citizens. The aim of the program is to support the Social Security persons receivers along with the citizens who have been getting retirement payments from the Social Security Administration. The proposal will also provide coverage to SSDI. The legal dependents of the Social Security amount holders will be eligible for the upcoming stimulus checks of $2,000 as direct deposit. Now, that's, to me, the fastest way to get paid. That's the fastest way. And I hope you guys can see me okay. Give me 1 second. Let me just make sure everything looks good. And while the U.S. seniors are living under a very distressful circumstance because of the limited income sources that they have in this old age, again, guys, you don't receive enough money to really live on, but they're talking about the limitations that you have because of your old age. The seniors have been getting difficulty in making their trying to make it through and making ends meet. The $2,000 stimulus checks as a direct deposit will be an icing on the cake when the amount will be getting paid to them along the Social Security pensions amounts. This is one-time payment to the eligible seniors that they will be getting in 2024. The seniors will receive the amounts transferred directly into their bank accounts, which is a much needed something that the government are proposing to seniors. Yes, that you would get that one-time stimulus check. Again, this is for all the seniors. This is something that's going to definitely benefit you in a mighty way. Like they said, it's the icing on the cake. This is going to help you make ends meet. This is going to help you move a little further along. The legal dependents of the Social Security amount holders will be eligible for upcoming stimulus checks that are going to come direct deposit. This is something that you are supposed to be getting transferred directly into your bank account. And that's something that everybody would like to hear. Transferred directly into your bank account. And and again, there's so much things that are happening. Who wouldn't need that right now? So let's see. So let's do let's do this. All right, and here's another thing, guys. The senior expects these dates to be published in just a few days. The rate of inflation are rising like wildfire. Hey, can you guys see me okay? Candy H. Rogers, what's going on? Robert, thank you so much for tuning in. Go back to oh man, David Hamacher. I love it, man. I love it. Go back. Man, let me tell you something, dude. I'm not even from Mexico. How can I go back to a place that I'm not even from? What's up, man? I'm just turning on some lights. Maybe you guys can see me a little bit better. Yeah, there you go. Hey, can somebody help me out with David Hamacher's comment? Linda Castile, good evening. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So the rates of inflation are rising like wildfire, which induces seniors that really kind of reduce your daily expenses. This whole 3.2% this year implemented in January has really kind of created a challenge when it comes to buying, your goods. The aim of the COLA that literally was set to increase the Social Security pension amounts and off the basis of the daily use of products, they're stating by the World Bank about the U.S. economy says that the U.S. economy is on a path to recovery. It still needs huge public investment so they can get to the much needed bounce. The direct deposit type of public transfer will eventually boost the spending of the general public and take the economy to newer heights. That is why they are wanting to really push these $2,000 stimulus checks because, number one, seniors are living in a very distressful circumstance because of limited resources, wildfire inflation, and seniors have had difficulty making ends meet. And these $2,000 stimulus checks will come as a direct deposit, will be the icing on the cake when it comes to helping you get further along. This is a one-time payment that's going to be coming, and seniors will receive the amounts transferred directly into their bank accounts. It's a much-needed government move that seniors are going to be getting here very, very soon. So this is the $2,000 stimulus check direct deposit for seniors 2024. This information literally just come out. Betty, Charles, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Your love and support mean the world. Make sure to hit that like button, guys. $2,000 stimulus check direct deposit for seniors. It's something that so many people have been waiting on. None of the seniors. So people have been asking, do seniors need to pay tax for the $2,000 direct deposit stimulus checks in 2024? And this is what they're saying. They're saying that none of the seniors are required to pay their taxes because the IRS has kept them outside the domain of the actual tax. They only need to have a Social Security number for the approval of the upcoming stimulus check benefits. This has been a big ordeal when it comes to taxes, seniors, the checks that are going out, checks that are coming in, and they're saying, do seniors really need to pay taxes on this $2,000 direct deposit that's coming in? They're saying, no, you don't have to. The IRS has kept that outside the domain of the tax. And the only thing, honestly, you really need, it shows you right here, they only need to have a Social Security number for the approval of the upcoming stimulus check benefits. The seniors will be provided the relief amount on the basis of their physical conditions and the type of their disability. Also, the investments in Social Security amounts are not going to affect seniors in any way. In fact, they will receive the benefit amounts $2,000 irrespective of their pre-retirement investments. Again, That's where so many worry, will my investments with what I've got set aside coming in, will that change anything? Will that affect anything? And this is where they're saying, no, it's not. So seniors in this very difficult time are going to be getting this check to help them make ends meet. The direct deposit will come as a transfer directly into your bank account. Again, this is something that highly has been needed by several people, and this is why you guys need help. This is U.S. seniors getting this $2,000 stimulus check direct deposit. The Treasury Department, under the leadership of the federal government. Anytime the federal government steps in, you can be rest assured things are going to happen. Things are going to take place, and it's going to be benefits for millions and millions of seniors in the United States. So the Treasury Department, the guys that really print the money, deal with the money, they're the one that's working with the federal government to distribute the stimulus checks to all senior citizens. And that's some very positive news. Okay. This proposal will also provide coverage. This is another bonus coverage to the Social Security, disability, and legal dependents of the Social Security amount holders. Again, several of you guys probably have a dependent that you're taking care of, and this is where that's going to be included as well. They're going to make sure that you guys are taken care of when it comes to this one-time stimulus check payment, and it's going to be transferred directly into your bank account. It states right here, the seniors will receive the amounts transferred directly into their bank accounts. So while on that issue, you're looking at the middle class and saying, okay, does that eliminate people that are on middle class? Remember, the low income and the fixed income, that's where they're really looking at targeting that group to really help make ends meet. Now, this is actually some different things that are happening, and things are getting ready to change.
It's going to expire. And if I'm reelected, it's going to stay expired.
Another whisper.
That's a bunch of pig potatoes, maybe not the pledge that he let it expire. With this latest pledge to let the Trump tax cuts expire, he's ensuring those same people are going to be hurt by a tax increase. The vast majority of Americans, in fact.
The vast majority, by the way, had to pay less in taxes after the Trump tax code was voted in. But his remarks led to yet another cleanup on Kyle Biden, with White House officials telling the New York Post last week that Biden would, quote, extend the tax cuts for those making less than $400,000, and that his budget would further cut taxes for the middle class and working families.
With reaction freedom.
And again, guys, that's going to be a big game changer, because what affects daily Americans.
And Priscilla, we're also getting some new polling out today on the 2024 race. Walk us through what this means for the president.
Well, it's still very much a close race, but again, Donald Trump showing in these polls that he continues to hold an advantage over President Joe Biden. Now, according to these numbers that you see there on your screen, 49% of...
Guys, how many of you agree with this? This is something that literally just come out. They've run the numbers. They did their work. They've come in and they've stated, they said, wait a minute. Number one, Biden is talking about the tax cut for all Americans. This is going to affect everybody from the fixed income, low income, all the way to those that make a lot of money. And this is where people are saying, okay, if they do away with what was already set in place, then people are actually going to have to pay more. But let me know what you think about that down in the comments. But we have several people here saying, hey, what is happening? Because a lot of people are saying it's time for a change. And I want to ask you guys, do you agree with this? Because so many people, they're changing their mind. Hazel, Lizette, thank you guys for tuning in. Thomas, you guys truly are amazing. Michelle, Robert, Angela, Toby, Dorothy, Willie, Kathleen, Frank Flores. I'll believe it when I see it in my bank. Yes, those dates are coming, guys. But this is like where people are saying, hey, what's going to happen? Because it's things are changing, guys. Things are getting ready to expire.
Registered voters choose Donald Trump, and then only 43% for Biden. Now, earlier in the year, Biden's numbers were around 45%. So those numbers are holding steady. And there are issues that are dogging the president and that his team is well aware of. One of them being the handling of Israel's war against Hamas that is unfolding in Gaza. Now, you've seen the protesters that have been happening across campuses. And according to our polling here, there is major disapproval over the president's handling of the Israel-Hamas war, with 71% disapproving. And then two is the economy. And this has been an issue that the White House and the Biden campaign have tried to convey to voters that it is heading in the right direction. But we are still seeing in these numbers that there is still quite a bit of a hesitation over whether that's indeed true, with registered voters here only 34% approving of the president's handling of the economy. These are two issues, Jessica, that are going to be front of mind for voters. That is what Democratic strategists anticipate at this point, especially the economy. And so these numbers do not look good for President Biden. And again, this has been a challenge for the Biden campaign. And as the president hits the trail, he has been touching on the economy and trying to, again, show the results of what his administration has done and how it's affecting voters in a positive way. But clearly what these polls show is that there is still a long road ahead for the president. Jessica?
Yeah, about 6 months until Election Day at this point. Priscilla Alvarez at the White House for us. Thanks so much. And joining us now is senior political analyst and senior editor at The Atlantic, Ron Brownstein. Ron, we just walking us through some of those polling numbers. And just to reiterate for people, 71% of U.S. adults disapprove of Biden's handling of Israel's war against Hamas in Gaza. And you look at that number of those 18 to 34, 81% disapproval rate. Ron, at this point, what kind of political impact could those numbers have for Biden as he's running for re-election?
Yeah, and a majority of Democrats in the polls say they disapprove of his handling. Look, what on its own, we saw in the Harvard IOP poll that concern about the war ranked relatively low among the issues that young people care about most. But it is reinforcing what was already happening, which is that Biden has struggled with younger voters really since his emergence as the Democratic nominee. I mean, he did not do well with them in the 2020 primary. They did rally around him against Trump in the 2020 general election, but his approval among them has been low ever since. And you are seeing, what you are seeing on college campuses. There are, obviously excesses, there are anti-Semitic behavior as part of it, but it is also a genuine reflection of a broad discontent in the Democratic coalition, especially among younger voters, with the extent to which he has basically stood arm in arm with Netanyahu as he has, kind of pursued this strategy on the war. And, you see in the CNN poll, Biden underperforming among young voters. Again, this is not the only reason, but when you start off facing a headwind, it is just another obstacle that he has to get over to get anywhere near what Democrats have gained among these voters in the past.
Yeah, and you mentioned the protests. We've obviously been covering them over the past several weeks as they have grown across the country. What do you think? What kind of impact do you think they're going to have? As I just said, we are still 6 months away from Election Day, and the semesters are set to end soon-ish for a lot of these students. But yet we do see all of these images over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, often, when you're the incumbent, you're running not only against your opponent, you're running against events. You're running against what is actually happening. And as Priscilla was saying, the persistence of inflation, the fact that it hasn't gone down, as it continued to decline the way that the Fed was hoping, you can see that reflected in these polling numbers, both nationally and key states, and the discontent about the economy. And similarly, when you have this level of kind of tumult on college campuses, there's a risk for Biden of kind of getting hit on both ends of the swinging door. where the visibility of this discontent, I think, will inflame the concerns among those in the Democratic coalition that are alienated and disappointed in his policy and how far he has gone down the road with Netanyahu. And then conversely, just the sheer disorder presents a risk to him. Republicans believe that one of the problems Biden faces, and really this is kind of the political manifestation of the age issue, is that many voters think he just is being overmatched by events, which is something that can really prove devastating to a president. Go back to Jimmy Carter. And this again becomes one more example of that. So it is a dangerous trend for Biden. He needs this war to calm down so he can begin to try to regain some ground among younger voters. But of course, Netanyahu's incentive is exactly the opposite. I mean, he wants it to, October 7th to be as far in the rearview mirror as possible before he has to face voters. So they are, as on many fronts, I think, operating on very different wavelengths.
Mm-hmm. And in digging into some more of these numbers in our new poll, it showed that 61% of registered voters think that Biden's time in office has been a failure, with only 39% saying success. And then you look at Trump's numbers there, 55% saying his time in office was a success, with 44% saying it was a failure. What do you think's driving these numbers?
Yeah, well, interesting. First of all, I mean, the CNN, every poll is different. The CNN poll that's out today is the worst for Biden of the recent polls. I mean, there were 4 other high-quality national polls this week that had the race between even and a +2 for Trump. So this is kind of at the low end of what we are seeing for Biden. But directionally, there are some important consistencies between this poll and the others. And one of them is what you cite, which is that the retrospective assessments of Trump's presidency have been consistently improving. I mean, his job approval in multiple polls now, looking back, is higher than it ever was when he was president. I think the key to that is largely the comparison with Biden on inflation above all, but also on some other issues like immigration. And in many ways, voters are kind of, putting on Trump as a kind of antidote to what they don't like about Biden. The other thing that's really important in the CNN poll is you continue to see this pattern that I wrote about a few weeks ago, as in all of the other national polls, as in the 3 key swing state polls that came out today, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Biden is largely, somewhat surprisingly, holding his 2020 support among white voters, particularly college-educated white voters, and not even really declining much among the blue-collar white voters, who are the core of Trump's coalition. The reason he is down from where he was in 2020 dramatically in the CNN poll is because he is underperforming what he got last time and what Democrats traditionally get among non-white voters. Black voters and Hispanic voters, the CNN poll has him as only +12 among those voters when he was more like +45 in the exit polls in 2020. So that really raises the question, can Trump really sustain those inroads all the way to November, given the way he talks about racially related issues? Can Biden sustain has now among white voters, given the discontent about the economy? It's kind of an upside down racial dynamic in 24 that's behind all of these numbers.
It is. It's very interesting. All right, Ron Brownstein.
Guys, there's so much. So I wanted to show you guys this real fast. Several of you guys are asking in the comments, hey, give us an actual date. So this is what this says, okay? It says the seniors can expect I'll show you this. The seniors can expect the dates to be published in a few days. So many of you guys are asking, we present information. This information literally just come out today. Direct deposit, $2,000 stimulus checks for those on a fixed income. This is something that's going to be seniors will receive the amounts transferred directly into their bank accounts. Okay, this is a one-time payment because U.S. seniors are really having it difficult right now. And so this is where they're going to give us the dates to be published in just a few days. But we keep you updated on everything that's happening, guys, because so much things with inflation are really hurting everyday Americans. Check this out. Yeah, that's what I don't understand is they're saying, well, it's not as high as it was a couple of years ago, but it is getting better.
Meanwhile, today, the inflation gauge, or the latest inflation gauge, I should say, is out. It is the key new data that the Fed has been waiting for. As Laura Aguirre reports, inflation fatigued consumers hoping for some relief will have to wait even longer.
The latest key inflation gauge, watched closely by the Fed, is out. The Personal Consumption Expenditures Index, which measures the prices we all pay for goods and services, ticked up to 2.7% in March, edging past February's rate and higher than many economists predicted.
High prices are to some degree reflecting the strong demand for all kinds of things that is consistent with a robust economy.
On a monthly basis, prices were up slightly, 0.03%, unchanged from February's pace, still not the step down many people were hoping to see.
We are fully committed to returning inflation to our 2% goal.
That was Fed Chair Jerome Powell last month, affirming where inflation needs to land before the central bank can offer buyers more relief.
And as we look at the Federal Reserve's own preferred gauge of inflation, that is not expected to give us an all clear for interest rate cuts anytime soon.
Back to that robust economy. Consumer spending remained strong last month, rising 0.8%, better than the half point many analysts expected. Forward progress on inflation has slowed since last year, mostly due to elevated housing and services costs, which experts often call more sticky and slower to ease. The Fed meets again next week, but what's the bottom line for consumers?
Inflation is sticking around longer, a little like an unwanted guest, and we may have to sort of remain patient for some time to come.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
And that's it, guys. That is where so many people, they understand we are in a difficult time. There's a lot of things happening. That's why these checks, so many people ask about these checks, these $2,000, okay, these stimulus checks, direct deposit for seniors. And I know so many people could definitely use it. So many people would definitely get a little further down the road. And this is why this information we provide you guys. Remember, we're the middleman. We're here. We do our homework. We do the research. We look at the news and we find out, okay, what's happening? How is our economy looking? What's trending? What affects everyday goods that you and I have to pay for every single day? What does it take to live every single day? And we also bring you the most updated news of things that are happening. And guys, it's our job to keep you updated. And if you would, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button. Your love and support mean the world. We could not do this without you guys. This is why we need your help. But make sure to stay tuned. We'll be bringing you some more information here very soon. And guys, love you. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful night. God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.